Hi. Today in this video I will tell you a hiking horror story. The title of the story is The Last Ride. I hope you will enjoy this video. So let's start the video. It was a late autumn evening when Tom found himself stranded on the side of the desolate highway, the setting sun casting long shadows over the barren landscape. His car had broken down, and his phone had lost signal hours ago. With no choice but to try his luck, he began hitchhiking. The wind howled through the trees, rustling their skeletal branches as if whispering secrets he couldn't quite understand. He thumbed his way along the empty road, hoping for a stroke of luck. Hours passed with no sign of a vehicle. Just as he was about to give up, headlights pierced the darkness, and a pickup truck slowly rolled to a stop. The driver, a tall man with a grizzled beard and piercing eyes, leaned out of the window. "Need a lift?" he asked, his voice low and gravelly. Tom hesitated, feeling a shiver run down his spine. There was something unsettling about the man, but desperation won out. "Yes, please," Tom replied, opening the door and climbing into the truck. The interior was dimly lit and smelled of stale cigarettes and old leather. The driver's gaze never left the road, his expression unreadable. They drove in silence, the only sound the rhythmic rumble of the engine and the occasional creak of the truck's suspension. Minutes turned into hours as the landscape outside grew increasingly unfamiliar. Tom glanced at his watch and then at the driver, who remained eerily focused on the road. "Where are we going?" Tom asked, trying to break the silence. The driver's eyes flickered towards him, then back to the road. "Just a little further," he said, his tone flat. Tom noticed that the sky was growing darker and the road was becoming less maintained, winding through thick, oppressive woods. The trees seemed to lean closer, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out. A sudden jolt made Tom's heart race as the truck swerved sharply. The driver cursed under his breath but kept the vehicle steady. "Sorry about that," he muttered, "just a rough patch." Tom's unease grew with every mile. He wanted to ask where they were, but the words caught in his throat. The truck's headlights illuminated a wooden sign that read "Welcome to Hollow's End." "What is this place?" Tom asked, his voice trembling. The driver finally spoke, his tone colder than before. "This is where people come when they don't know where they're going. You're here now." The truck suddenly veered off the main road, heading down a narrow, overgrown path. Tom's panic intensified. "Hey, where are we going? I need to get out." The driver ignored him, his grip on the wheel tightening. "There's no turning back once you're on this road." The truck came to a stop in front of an old, decrepit house surrounded by overgrown weeds and fog. The house loomed ominously, its windows dark and empty. The driver turned to Tom, a twisted smile spreading across his face. "This is where the journey ends," he said, stepping out of the truck. "You wanted a ride, now you've got one." Tom's heart pounded as he realized the gravity of his situation. The driver's eyes gleamed with a malevolent light. With every instinct screaming at him, Tom bolted from the truck, racing towards the forest. He could hear the driver's footsteps following, gaining on him. He stumbled through the underbrush, branches scratching at his face, until he saw a dim light in the distance. Desperation fueled his flight as he reached the source of the light, an old gas station. He burst inside, slamming the door behind him. The gas station was abandoned, with dusty shelves and cobwebs covering the counters. Tom panted heavily, glancing around for any sign of safety. A flicker of movement caught his eye, and he turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows, an elderly woman with a vacant stare. "Help me!" Tom pleaded. The woman's expression remained unchanged as she spoke in a monotone voice. "No one leaves Hollow's End. The front door creaked open, and Tom turned to see the driver stepping inside, his grin widening. Tom backed away, but there was nowhere left to run. The driver's laughter echoed through the gas station as the woman's eyes seemed to grow darker. In that moment, Tom understood the true horror of Hollow's End. It was a place for lost souls, where once you arrived, escape was a mere illusion. The driver closed in, his presence engulfing the room as Tom's scream faded into the oppressive darkness. And so, the legend of Hollow's End grew, a cautionary tale of a place where every hitchhiker was bound for a fate far worse than any broken-down car.